What is going on, X Community? X Stomp here, and today, people, we're going to be going over the semi-finals games. And joining me is going to be DDA.
Hello.
Yeah. So, obviously, this is Mega Aggron, and Pickems is going to be pretty fun. We did reset, so for this, we're actually 2-2. Yep. So we're even.
Assuming Darkrafter doesn't win it all, we'll still be tied.
True.
If Darkrafter wins it all, there's nothing I can do.
Hell yeah.
I do think it's funny that he's the only one from Rock to make it through. Especially because Rock was so lopsided in like its original assessment, and then Steel kind of just came in and like, correct me if I'm wrong, but two of the matchups specifically were just the best matchups possible for the Steel team. Specifically the Marshy matchup and the solo matchup, I think they were really good into each other. Like I think I voted for Marshy over no, I did not vote Marshy over Chungus. I forgot, I voted Chungus. Because Chungus had the better team surrounding Samurott, because Marshy's team for some reason just all lost to Samurott.
Mhm.
But I mean, if you don't use the Samurott correctly, the rest of Marshy's team was just clearly better. Which is what happened. So, you know, what happens, happens. And then your team was going to auto lose the solo, and then I threw my balls off. I like both me and Mustang completely agree. I threw pretty hard, both in prep and in game. So yeah, that's what happened. But Darkrafter's the only rock guy left. I think it's interesting. So I guess we get into it.
Alright. Here we go. So, first matchup, it's going to be Darkrafter versus Mustang.
This is lopsided, to say the least. Just kind of like how my matchup was. If I didn't fail in prep, I didn't see a world where Mustang won. And like I teased a little bit earlier, even Mustang agreed to it. Like that game was just mine to throw. I don't really think Mustang even had a win con unless I threw, and I did. So he won. He took a complete advantage of it. I don't think Darkrafter is gonna give Mustang that same luxury of giving him a win con. Now, I will say though, Darkrafter's closest game was that quarterfinal match. He should not have won that game. Like, did you watch the replay of that game, right?
Yeah.
That was rough. Like, it almost went a full sweep for Steel, but you know, Sandy Shocks is Sandy Shocks. And it came through. But holy cow, that was definitely the first matchup. Like, obviously, I didn't get to fight Darkrafter's team legitimately, which I'm really kind of salty about, because I like those like super close games. But I didn't get to fight his team legitimately, so I don't know how he would have faced against me. But that was by far the closest match I've seen him play so far, and it was against the team that I thought was the weakest going into playoffs. Only equal to Mustangs in terms of weakness. So that alone tells me that when a team doesn't immediately have like a clear win con, because like Adrian's team, there were so many pieces to a team that kind of just didn't make sense and didn't connect. So I feel like a lot of people that lose to him didn't really know how to prep against him, which is a legitimate strategy in Pokemon. If you just have too many threats on your team, sometimes it just happens to be that it doesn't matter if your team looks bad on paper. If no one can prep for you correctly, you can still win games perfectly fine. And that's the beauty of the difference between power rankings and actual play on field, is that your team can look wonky on paper all day long, and every error that you point out is just going to be an error if the enemy knows how to abuse it. If they don't know how to abuse it, it's not really a problem. Do you think that Dark will have that same problem against Mustang's team?
To preserve my lock, I will say no.
You don't want to jinx it. I see.
No.
Yeah. Looking at this matchup for sure, like this is definitely a matchup that's weird for Mustang because I think Mustang's biggest strength is that Jolteon Terra is super scary and usually teams overprep for it. And he didn't bring it against me, which I was honestly surprised. And I think I played wrong because of it too. So I think if Mustang does something similar, which I don't think he should not bring it. I think Jolteon's too good here. But I think if Mustang does another maneuver where he doesn't bring a Mon that just feels like it should become, as long as the Mon he brings gives value that he wouldn't have otherwise, I think that could be a good legitimate strategy against Dark. Because when people over prep for certain mons, they usually leave a mon on the enemy team that they're like, man, if they bring this one set, I lose. But they're not gonna bring that set, and then they bring that set and you lose, right? So like you got to be careful about those things, because sometimes it just kind of escapes your mind that they actually went the super specific route, whereas like they would have theoretically had a more straightforward route with a different mod, right? So looking at these two matchups, they both have a Bronzong, and both of them are going to have a little bit of a hard time breaking it.
They both have poison fightings.
They also both have poison fightings, but Mustang's advantage is that he can change his type on his.
True.
Darkrafter's advantage is that his is faster. So they both also have a water wall that is immune to water.
True.
The biggest thing though is that Darkrafter has a lot more reliable hazards and removal, because that's Mustang's biggest weakness. Obviously, Darkrafter only has one remover, and that's Kamala, which forces Kamala to come every game. But Mustang has 0. And Sandy Shocks is so reliable in being a hazard setter and a nuisance on board, because Mustang can't just go Jolteon, Terra Ice, and kill it, because Sandy won't die to that because it's tanky enough, right? So it won't die in one shot. You can't go Quagsire because it could just Terra Grass and kill you anyway. So what do you go?
I know what you go.
What do you go here?
You go Terra Flying Jolteon, so you're immune to both of Sandy's moves, and then it has to Terra to hit you.
Okay. Terra Flying Jolteon.
Yeah.
Now, do you run heavy duty boots so you don't die to the rocks that he just set up on you?
Well,
because here's the thing: Terra Flying Jolteon still doesn't touch Sandy. He still resists it. Jolteon does not have the coverage.
Yeah, it does.
Touch Sandy. What does it have to touch?
It's
Shadow Ball.
Shadow Ball.
All right, you stop that. So that's the problem, right? Like you could theoretically go Flying Jolteon and be immune to electric and ground and completely shut him out. I don't think Sandy's going to go offensive this matchup.
No.
I think it's going to be a hazard center with a volt switch and a coverage move.
Yep.
And that is it.
I agree.
I would be surprised if he even brings Earth Power this matchup.
Fair, yeah.
Because it only really touches Toxicroak. Because Bronzong ignores it, and Moltres ignores it. Jolteon would probably ignore it. So
honestly, you run like
you run rocks, spikes, volt switch, and Terra Blast for whatever Terra you're going, and that's what you run.
I could see Power Gem just to have
just for Moltres, like, and to hit Flying Jolteon if you're worried about that.
Yeah, and then you could save your Terra for Kamala if you really want, because Kamala doesn't look bad here.
Yeah, I will say one thing as well, though, and for those who watched my matchup, they may not have remembered this or realized this part. Mustang did not bring, or sorry, he did bring Hat. He never used it, but my team could set hazards regardless of his mods, because both of my setters had either Mold Breaker or Mycelium Might, which also ignores abilities. So Magic Bounce just was not in discussion. It's why it never switched in once on either one of them. Even though it could do a lot of damage to either one of them, it just didn't switch in because there was no point. hazards were going to go up if I wanted them up, and I threw that because I didn't get them up. But anyway, well, in time. But Dark doesn't have that luxury. He doesn't have a mold breaker setter. He does have Chestnut to set up spikes. He does have Sandy Shocks to set up spikes and rocks, and then he has Zong to set up rocks as well. But none of them like beat Hot Ultimate like immediately. Bronze Zong's kind of the only one that beats it immediately. And that's about it. But so that might be a problem-ish, but I don't really see that being a long-term problem because Mustang doesn't actually have a way to consistently stop Sandy Shocks. Because if it is Terra Grass Sandy Shocks, right, he can't reliably go Quagsire. He can't go Jolteon until it Terras. Or it forces it to Terra on Sandy Shocks because it will just die to Earth Power if he doesn't bring... Because Sandy Shocks technically doesn't have to bring any hazards because both rocks and spikes are on his other mods. So he could just go 4-move with Salt Vest and just go Volt Switch, Earth Power, Terra Blast, Power Jump, and just go 4-move with Salt Vest. And then it doesn't matter what type you are, you still lose to Sandy. Because Sandy Shocks is one of the most reliable Assault Vesters in low tier. So that's another problem. This is going to be a hard matchup. I know who you think is going to win because you want to keep your lock.
Right.
But is there anything else that I haven't said that you think of?
I could see Chestnut doing a lot of work this game. I believe it has rock coverage, so it could hit the Moltres. And then the dual stabs that it has seems really good here. I think fighting looks amazing here. Yeah, I think Chestnut could definitely put in work this game. Hatterene, it sucks that Hatterene has to do everything like this game, I feel like, because if it comes in on Sandy, it's just gonna get Volt Switched, and then, you know, Sneasel or something like Banded Maboss or something just comes in and tries to revenge kill. It's gonna... Mustang's gonna be on the back foot a lot this game. So, yeah, I mean, I obviously have to stick with my lock and go with Dark Crafter here. I'm gonna go with a 4-0.
Okay. I think the one thing that might help overall is that Darkrafter does not have a knockoff. I don't believe. I don't believe he has a knockoff mod.
Yeah.
Which does mean that Dunsparce just got a lot more what's the word? Valuable in this matchup. Because yeah, he does have 2 fighting types, so that is a problem. But if Dunsparce is able to set up a little bit first, like able to set up 1 coil before he comes in, or and stuff like that, Dunsparce theoretically should be able to roost it away because EV Light ++1 should be able to be good. And then he can keep going and keep going. And I guess the only problem there was that Vaporeon might have Haze, so that could be a problem. But Dunsparce could theoretically sweep. With the right moveset, it could theoretically just sweep this team. Because I think if you go, does it have body press? No, it doesn't. Man, that's unfortunate. I wish Dunsparce had body press. That'd be so fun. But theoretically, Dunsparce would try to set up and win. It will be hard, and I think he would need to get some chip along the board, which with his team is going to be really hard. But I see that as maybe his win con, or maybe Toxicroak is his win con. Like if he gets an agility up or something, I don't nothing on Crafter's team beats Toxicroak immediately. Like Delphox is pretty good into Toxicroak, and obviously Sandy's pretty good into it. But Toxicroak does have access to Earthquake, so that's Sandy and Delphox taken care of, and Sneasel taken care of. And then his Poison Stab and Fighting Stab take care of Chestnut and Maspidif. His fighting is neutral to Bronzong. Fighting would hit Kamala as well. So So theoretically, Toxic Rope could get away with 3 moves plus like an agility or something, or like a sword stance.
Are you voting for Mustang? Is the question.
I don't know. If I were if I were a betting man, I would never. But actually, this is gonna be really funny because didn't Mustang lose in semis last time too? He did.
Remember.
Yeah, he lost to Flygon in semis last season. And then I won, and then I beat Flygon. But yeah, so I do think it's interesting that this is now Mustang's second semis in a row.
This is the redemption arc. Come on.
This might be his redemption arc. I mean, with a team like that, if he somehow gets to the finals, I don't know if he.
If he wins this season, I'm gonna be very disappointed in myself.
I'm gonna be disappointed in all of us.
Yeah, actually, yeah, all of them.
But yeah, I'm not gonna vote for Mustang. Actually, oh, now I want to. You know what? For the drama, I'm voting for Mustang. I think this is the second time I voted for Mustang in like the entire Pickems.
Okay.
Because like, ever since he made those changes, I have not voted for him once. I don't think.
No. Satono's coming to this game. I'm telling you.
I mean, I really hope it doesn't. It does nothing as per usual.
Belly drum. Come on.
Bro, he's just wasting 2 points, and it makes me really
It's
sad.
true.
I mean, to be fair, most of his bottom mobs are wasting points. Dunsparce is okay. Go-Go's a cheap grass type, I guess. Persian's a waste of points. Sodal's a waste of points. You're literally wasting 13 points. It's good to know on. I mean, you can't anymore, but in a perfect world, you could get rid of this. Anyway, yeah, I'll vote for Mustang. I don't think it's gonna be a clean game. I think this is gonna be another Dark Crafter, like slugfest if it even gets to this part. So I'm gonna say 2-0.
All right. Perfect. Move on to the next one. We have Solo versus Marshy. Ooh.
So now, because we have a rematch, I'm gonna go back real quick to see who won last time.
Wow.
Marshy versus Solo is a week 1 rematch.
Oh shoot.
And Solo won 2-0.
Ooh.
Now, this was before roster changes, because I do believe Solo changed his team, didn't he?
I don't think so. Did he?
Let me check.
Oh no, yes, he changed his Terra to Typhlosion from Magneton.
Okay. Obviously, I don't know if that actually mattered much. But let's see here. So, Solo. Let's see here. Who made changes? Did either one of them make changes? No. So they have the exact same teams. Marshy and Solo did not change a single mon. The only thing that changed is Magneton Terra to Typhlosion Terra.
Mm-hmm.
Which, looking at this matchup, would you have rathered Magneton Terra or would you have rathered Typhlosion Terra? Because that's the only change. Otherwise, this is the exact same matchup.
Probably Typhlosion, because once you beat that Azu, if it even comes, Eruption just looks free.
Does it? You don't think Meloetta takes it pretty well?
I think Meloetta could take.
You don't
one.
think AV Slowbro doesn't take it well?
I mean, yes. I think
I mean,
the problem with those bonds is that both of them get beat by low kicks, which I think is definitely coming in this game.
oh yeah, look, it should 100% come to this game, no question about it. I'd be very surprised if it didn't.
Yeah.
So do you think what, Terra Fire?
For Typhlosion?
Yeah.
I think you could get away with that, or you could get away with Dark to hit the Slowbro Meloetta. As soon as Azu dies, if
That's
it's
a good point.
if it's dead, or if it doesn't even come, Typhlosion just can Terra Dark, and it also makes it so that it's immune to the Grafii Prankster stuff, which is good. So
Yeah, I will say, Typhlosion doesn't even 2-co max HP Meloetta. Guaranteed with Eruption. It does 2-co with Terra Blast, but that's modest Scarf. So that is something to keep in mind.
and that's just HP, so it would be a 2-go either way. If you went Terra Fire Eruption, now we're starting to get into more damage, because Terra Fire Eruption obviously does more, because, just base power differences. But I do like the idea of Terra Dark. I think it's a good idea. I also do think that Marshy will have an idea for that. So if it is Terra Dark, Azumarill is just even stronger. So that's really the big thing, is that Marshy's whole game plan will have to keep Azumarill alive. And I feel like you would just run leftovers Azumarill with, like, Thick Fat instead of Sap Sipper. Or maybe you do run Sap Sipper just so you don't lose the Decidueye. That was hard.
Yeah, I think you still run Thick Fat.
Yeah, I think you still run Thick Fat. Because I don't even know if Magneton shows up to this game because Marshy has 2 immunities. So, and Magneton doesn't really wall anything other than Kilowattrel, really. And he doesn't really have much to hit Kilowattrel because Magneton doesn't have coverage. So it can't really hit it.
It's got Tri Attack. Come on now.
That's not coverage. Normal types are not coverage. That is just a move. But yeah, so I don't even know if Magneton comes to this game, which means Azumarill is even safer with Sap Sipper. So yeah, that's going to be Solo's biggest problem. Breaking Azumarill.
Yeah.
Obviously he broke it last time, assuming that Azumarill was even there. The Marshy does have the advantage of knowing what went wrong. I don't know if she got hacked or anything. I didn't watch, or don't remember, I should say. But Marshy does have the advantage of knowing what went wrong to change. Solo's in the hard position where he has to change his team, but not enough to where he loses. That's why I hate rematching people when I won, because I already beat them once. Now they're gonna cheese me, and I have to prep for something else. Or I changed prep on a mon that I already prepped for, and they just beat me because of that.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the annoying part. But what are you thinking here?
Honestly, I feel almost obligated to vote with Solo because he beat me. Beat you? Yeah. I feel like it's only right. But matchup wise, I do think that it's probably quite even. I think Solo has a slight leg up, mainly because I feel like the offense is a lot more annoying to Marshy's team than Marshy's offense is to Solo's team. I think as soon as Azu's gone, a lot of mons start to get even better. Stuff like low kicks can easily break things. Stuff like Typhlosion break things. But I mean, honestly, I didn't expect Marshy to win the last one. But I voted with her just to have some fun, and she won. So you know what? I have no idea anymore.
Yeah, true. That it's definitely interesting to say the least. But yeah, looking at the team last time, it looks like it was a pretty close match. For some reason, Masquerain got 2 kills against Marshy in the fucking first
yes, because Ice Beam.
Oh, was it set up Masquerain?
Yes, it was.
Oh, dude, that's so odd.
It actually worked really well here, looking at it though.
I mean, it clearly worked before. I mean, I didn't even think about that. But yeah, I mean, I guess that's just another layer of things you have to worry about. Is that set up Masquerain you lose to for some reason?
Yeah, I mean, I think because of that, I don't know if Azu came or not last time, but I think Azu again.
It did come. Marshy brought Samurott, Azu, Slowbro, Primate, Meloetta, Kilowattrel last time. And Solo brought Low Kicks, Lycanroc, Masquerain, Typhlosion, Kamala, and Tauros.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm watching the game just super quick just to see if there was a bit of hacks or anything that randomly happened that would have happened. Marshy got a really good lead by getting Lycanroc immediately out of the game because she used Terra Kilowattrel, and now it became a ground type. Oh, that's what happened. Okay. Basically, Marshy threw away a zoom roll in the beginning of the game to low kicks.
Oh.
Low kicks crit first impression and did 75% of a zoom roll's
Oh
health.
god.
Yeah, and then killed with it. Yeah, so Azumarill was gone by turn 4.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
yeah, so Typhlosion just got to do whatever it wanted after that. I mean, now it's Terra, so now it's even more important. But I guess that begs the question: what the fuck is a switch into low kicks?
You have to
Because
make
it was life orb
Donphan.
low kicks. Yeah, so that means you have to bring Donphan this time. So, but then what do you drop off of your 6 for Marshy, right?
Yeah, I don't know.
That's that. Like, obviously, low kicks is like Donphan is the answer, right? But like, Donphan, like, let's just go like Life Orb, because it was Life Orb last time. What did Donphan even take it well? I mean, Donphan didn't take it super well anyway. I mean, like, let's see this crit, right? I mean, it would have done almost the same damage that Azumarill took. It would have died to crit first impression into U-turn.
Yeah.
It literally would have died the same way.
I don't think
So, like,
there's a single Mon that wants to take a hit from low kick.
crit fucking low kicks, yeah. But yeah, that's the problem, right? Is that, like, unless Donphan is like max defense, which means, like, I'm looking at its moves, like, nothing's really touching low kicks. And I guess I could put on Rock Slide just in case, because that's like the only thing that could actually hit it. I mean, that hits it slightly, especially if it's low, if it's thing. But like, first impression into U-turn does more than 50% of Donphan's health from the first interaction. And low kicks, all it needs is a second turn in, and it kills it again. Like, it just kills it.
Yeah.
Like, what do you do?
What
do you do to that?
You have to. So I think you'd have to.
Rocky Helmet, right?
Yep, Rocky Helmet and Ice
Rocky
Shard.
Helmet, Donphan with Ice Shard, maybe.
Yeah, because with that.
Just for chip, if it's gonna be Life Orb, then yeah, you need as much chip as possible.
Yeah, that
I don't know.
would
I don't know
mean
if
that
you go
it
Life Orb again on
dies.
this. Yeah, I guess the question is, does low kicks go Life Orb again, or does it go like Bug Plate for just first impression U-turns?
I could see that too. Yeah.
Because Bug Plate, you're only losing like what, 10% damage? It's not bad. You go Bug Plate over Life Orb, and you don't have to worry about your HP.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a good idea. Can also just go Bandit, and instead of clicking first impression, just keep clicking U-turn.
True.
Yeah, I mean, this is going to be a rough matchup for Marshy. I think the one upside is that Solo's 2 Mons that are good into Donphan are physical, which Donphan wants to be anyway for low kicks. So that's a good thing. Both Solo's water type and grass type are mostly physical. Even though Decidueye can go special, and it very often does with like Leaf Storm, it doesn't have like Giga Drain or anything. I think it only has Leaf Storm.
Yeah.
Right? I don't think
It
I don't
has
think it-
Leaf Storm. I know it has. No, it has a Giga Drain energy ball and stuff. I think.
Oh, okay. So it does. I've just never seen a Decidueye run Giga Drain. I've only seen it run Leaf Storm when it runs special.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, but usually Decidueye wants to be physical, just because it's got a better moveset for it, and it just makes you turn hit harder and stuff like that.
Mhm.
But yeah, yeah. I mean, I think Solo's just gonna win again, even though I want Marshy to win. Low kicks is a bitch. I don't know what you do against it. I guess theoretically, like, cause Tinted Lens is just a good one. Yeah.
I think you just. If I was Marshy, I would try to set up rocks as fast as physically possible, and if you can get up
If
rocks,
it's not heavy duty boots, yeah.
Yeah, then you're chilling.
Abuse it if it's not heavy duty boots, right? Yeah, I guess that's one of the big things as well, is that Marshy, realistically, Donphan is its only rock setter. Because, I mean, I guess you could argue Primate is too, but you really don't want to waste the move slot on Primate on rocks. So, like, Donphan is your only reliable rocker. So, last matchup, Marshy didn't even have that. So, no rocks on the board. Solo got to run Life Orb low kicks with no repercussions. There has to be repercussions this time. 100%. But yeah, I guess I will go Solo as well, just on the terms of, like, low kicks alone won that game, and like Typhlosion and Masquerade just got to clean up because there was no competition afterwards. Because, like, when you got rid of Kilowattrel's electric typing as well, Masquerade didn't even have a flying type resist anymore either. So, like, yeah, Quiver Dance plus Flying Stab just goes ham.
Yeah.
So,
I think that game was lost on prep alone. So I think Solo should still win, even with better prep. But it's gonna be interesting.
Okay.
It's gonna be interesting.
You know what? Yeah. I'm gonna. You know what? You said he got 2-0. I'll put him 2-0 again.
You think Solo's gonna go 2-0?
Yeah.
Yeah, I will say Solo 4-0.
Okay. All right. And what out of the two do you want to lock on? I think I already know the answer, but
This is hard. I mean, like, I could just go dark and get like a free win if he beats Mustang, but you know what? Let's go all out. Mustang, I'll lock it on Mustang. He's gonna win it all.
okay.
If Mustang wins, he's gonna win it all. Let's be real here. If he wins this matchup, he will win it all.
That is fair,
Period.
actually. I agree with that.
Period. There's no consideration otherwise. He will win it all if he wins this. Now, if people were to ask me after the video who I think I win, I think Darkrafter wins the whole thing. I thought Darkrafter was going to win the whole thing since quarterfinals, but that is not the point. The point is to give good content, and the good content answer would be to go Mustang. So I'm going to do that.
Let's be real, though. Let's be real, okay? Mustang shouldn't have necessarily gotten this far anyways, but
You're right. He shouldn't have made playoffs. He shouldn't have beat me. He shouldn't have beat Darkrafter when that happens. Therefore, he shouldn't win playoffs, but he will.
so that just makes sense.
Exactly.
Alright. So that is it for the semifinals games. We will see what happens. Next time we will obviously be going over one game, which is going to be hopefully not 30 minutes long, but you know what? We'll see.
We gotta make every detail count for it.
Yeah, the finalists are gonna have to watch intensely. But yeah. That is it, and we'll see you guys in finals. Good luck to the 4 that are playing, and
Goodbye.
yeah, see you guys next time.
Bye bye.